Now, joining me now is political commentator, you know her well, Stephanie Hamill. Stephanie, thanks so much for joining me on the program tonight here. And I wanted to talk about the White House's memorial to Charlie Kirk when he was posthumously awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. This is some of what the president said at the event earlier this week.
But it was a horrible, heinous, demonic act of murder. He was assassinated in the prime of his life for boldly speaking the truth, for living his faith and relentlessly fighting for a better and stronger America. He loved this country. And that's why this afternoon it's my privilege to posthumously award Charles James Kirk, our nation's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Thank you.
Stephanie, I want to ask you about this because it was quite bittersweet. He awarded the medal to Erica Kirk on what would have been Charlie's 32nd birthday. Now, when he was assassinated, the reverberations went around the world. And I can tell you that here in Australia, I still have people wanting to talk to me about Charlie Kirk and what happened on that terrible day. How is the memory of Charlie Kirk being honored, but also how much impact is he still having now in death in the United States and among conservatives, young conservatives on the right?
Absolutely, James. And you're not the only one where people are approaching you and asking you and wanting to talk about Charlie Kirk. I mean, people are so affected by this. This is something that I think about and people in my community talk about every single day. What President Trump awarding Charlie the nation's highest civilian honor on his birthday was just incredible. It was profoundly moving. And I am so thankful for President Trump for remembering Charlie on his birthday with this award, because we are Charlie. For so many conservatives who that share the same values as Charlie, which is faith, family, and freedom, this was really important for us. And his widow, Erica Kirk, I don't know how she does it. Her strength and grace is just incredible. And she's demonstrated something that I've just never seen before. And so we have to give her credit and acknowledge her for that. And as for how Charlie Kirk's memory and legacy will live on, it's through so many voices and people that are standing up and feeling more energized and fired up than ever. Think about the movement that he put together, Turning Point USA. It is a well-oiled machine. If you've ever been to any of the events, there are so many hardworking people that put together these incredible events where thousands of students get together with some of the greatest political minds in this country. And the last I checked, according to Turning Point, they'd received 130,000 inquiries into student chapters across the country. This would have been Charlie Kirk's dream.
I want to move on to this story here, where this week NBC News apparently announced they were eliminating their teams dedicated to covering various DEI issues, the specific channels for Black and Asian American and Latino and LGBTQ groups, laying off about 150 staffers. It seems to me here this is a big win for the culture that news organizations are starting to get the message that this sort of identity politics news coverage is not working for them. And coming on the heels of Barry Weiss going to CBS, I'd love your thoughts.
James, there's a lot to chew on here. My first initial reaction was, NBC laying off their diversity push groups sounds a little racist, according to the left. But also, I actually didn't realize that they had these groups intact, that they have specific people pushing news for each color and race of people in America. It's kind of sickening. As somebody who's bicultural, my mother is born in Mexico. I am American. I was born here. It's just hard for me to understand why they are creating different news divisions targeted at different people. As an American, and even my mom being from Mexico and living in this country, we care about the news that all Americans care about. It's really weird that they were doing that in the first place. And as for it being a win, I'm a little dubious. I'm actually thinking that it's the fact that they're not getting the ratings and they're not making the money. So this is the reason why. I mean, I guess it's a win in the sense that the audience has rejected it. So people are getting so tired of the race baiting and all of this actual division instead of unification.
I think that's absolutely right. Meanwhile, on the left, I find this story amazing. Katie Porter, and I've spoken about her before, she's trying to become California's next governor, and apparently she has refused to say whether or not there will be even more videos that will drop this week displaying her abusive behavior, which, if you've seen some of it before, has been pretty unhinged. Here's what she had to say in another interview this week.
Should California voters feel confident that there aren't any more Katie Porter videos out there?
Well, what I know is that I could have done better in those moments. I'm going to be focused on earning their votes and earning their trust. That's true in every election.
But not just the CBS interview, the interview with the staffer. Can voters be confident that there won't be another one of those videos that's going to come to light?
I'm going to be honest with you. I know that video was several years ago, as you know, and I apologize to the staffer. That's super important to me, and will continue to try to hold myself to do better. That's what I can promise.
Now, Stephanie, by now everybody has seen the videos, the allegations that she dumped scalding hot mashed potatoes on her ex-husband's head. This woman could become California's next governor. What is happening in the Democrat Party that somebody with this sort of character seems to have risen to the very heights of the party in that state?
Yeah, I'm laughing because I'm trying not to cry. How is it that the Democrats in California would even see a potential candidate in her? I mean, she's the leading candidate. And I understand that Governor Gavin Newsom is a very flawed politician, but this is almost even worse. I mean, the video that you're talking about, she flew into a rage because her staffer had the audacity to accidentally walk in her background. I mean, she started shouting expletives at her. We've also read a lot more about how she's mistreated other staffers. We also recently saw a video where she stepped out of an interview, screamed at a reporter because she didn't like the reporter's questions. And by the way, the reporter was probably a liberal reporter who happened to ask all of the other candidates the same exact questions. So this is a very messy situation. And she's apologized and said, it was like a bad day or whatever. She's just sorry she got caught. Okay.
Absolutely.
Like, these type of personalities, I'm very familiar with them. And I'm sure there's a lot more of that. And that's why she can't promise that there won't be more videos, because this is who she is. And so it's very concerning that she's the leading Democrat in California. I really hope that Californians will wake up, even if they're Democrats, and realize that they deserve better, because this woman is unhinged and doesn't have the character or judgment to be in charge of such a great state.
Well, Stephanie, very quick follow-up. Do you think this could sink her campaign?
I think it could sink the campaign, but the problem is, for the most part, the mainstream media ignores these types of stories. And so a lot of the voters probably won't even know that this happened. They won't know the true character of this candidate. And so that's what concerns me. But if more people are able to watch news sources like yours, James, or some of the other news organizations that I speak to, then they can be informed voters and decide whether or not they want somebody with such a hothead to lead their state.
Well, Stephanie, we do have a few U.S. Report viewers who love us on the YouTube in America, so we'll see what difference that can make. We'll find out. Stephanie Hamill, thank you so much for your time.